I know what you're thinking about weighing your food. You think it's going to make you obsessed, more rigid, more in your head. 5 years ago, I thought the same thing. And then I lost over 100 pounds with a real food lifestyle and have kept it off. And weighing my food is the reason I stopped thinking about food all day. Today, we're going to do a little math class, a NutriHabit math class. And once you see how simple this is, I think you're going to wish that someone had shown you this a long time ago. This is episode number 244 of the Healthy Real Food Podcast about how weighing your food brings you peace. This is the Healthy Real Food Podcast. I'm your coach, Erin Hart, a registered nurse and health coach who understands the struggle of feeling out of control around food and has walked the path of transformation. If you are a woman who feels powerless against your cravings and is ready to live your life with more energy, mental clarity, and purpose, there is hope. Here we believe that with God, a mindset of unstoppability, and consistent execution of a winning strategy, anything is possible for you. So if you're ready to find freedom from food addiction, take control of your health, and pursue your dreams with renewed energy, support, and accountability, let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Healthy Real Food Podcast. I'm so glad that you're here today, and I genuinely feel so glad to be here today. I am so passionate about sharing this message of hope with women who are struggling like I was, and I hope that you get a lot out of today's episode. So, I want to start today with something that has happened a lot in the last 5 years. And honestly, it still takes my breath away when it does happen. I'll be out running errands or at church or at the hospital picking up a shift or at a family gathering. And someone from my life before I started this lifestyle will see me, someone who hasn't seen me in years. And they'll stop and they'll do that little double take and they'll say, Erin, is that you? What happened? What did you do? How you look incredible. Or, it's a big change from where I was back then at 284 pounds, hiding, not wanting ever to go to public events. And I was so shy, just felt just not like myself back then. And it is a huge change. And it's not just physical, it is this transformation for me has been mental, emotional, and spiritual just as much as it has been physical. And so when people see me after a long time, they are shocked and I forget sometimes. And when people ask me how I did it, I always want to give them an honest answer, not like a before and after reel, not a quick tip, not some little gimmick, like the real story, because the truth is that I am a completely different person than the woman I used to be. Not just physically, but like I said, in every way. The way I think, the way I talk to myself, the way I move through my day, and the peace that I have around food now, I didn't even know was possible before I found this way of living. So today I want to tell you what I actually did, and more importantly, I want to show you how to find peace with food. If you feel obsessed with food, if you're struggling with constant food and weight chatter, always thinking about your next meal, or always on that dieting roller coaster, this is what I want you to know to help you to achieve your goal body and to find peace. Along the way, I am going to let you in on something that Seth and I, my brother, have been building over the course of the last few years that is going to make your health journey faster, easier, way more fun. So stick with me and we'll talk about that as well. So let's go back a few years. Like I said, I was 284 pounds, pre-diabetic. I'm a level 4 NICU nurse. We get the sickest babies from the 5 surrounding states in our intensive care unit. And I loved my job. It was stressful. And when I was stressed, I would eat to feel better for years, right? Just so tired after a long shift, come home, I would eat everything I could see. And I had tried every diet. I'm not exaggerating either. I'm probably exaggerating a little, but I would do okay for a few weeks, sometimes a few months, and then something would happen. A bad day on the unit, a holiday, someone would bring in not my food into work and the whole thing would unravel. So this dieting roller coaster where I'd lose a little bit, I'd be all in, and then I'd make a mistake and get discouraged and give up and gain all the way back. And for years, I just believed the problem was me, that I thought other women just had more willpower than I did, that I thought maybe I wasn't lazy. I worked so hard in everything I did and gave so much of myself. But I thought I just didn't maybe want it bad enough, or there's something wrong with me. And I sometimes would have that really negative inner voice that would get loud and in my own head, that inner critic that we all have. But here's what I want you to hear, because this is what finally set me free, what we're talking about today. Willpower never was going to work for me, not for you, not for anyone, because in our modern food environment, willpower won't keep you consistent. Henry Ford said, whether you think that you can or you can't, you're right. And what I had been telling myself for years is that I couldn't do this. I had tried too many times, I'd failed every time, and I didn't have what it takes. And the day everything shifted for me was when I finally understood two things. First, that your brain is not designed to help you to lose weight. And second, that we are eating in a food environment your brain has no defense against. Let me explain. Your brain evolved to do three things really well: seek pleasure, avoid pain, conserve energy. And that is your brain's focus, your brain's main job. That was the perfect wiring for human beings back in caveman times, right? When food was scarce and the next meal was uncertain, your brain's whole job was to keep you alive by making sure that you ate when food was available and stored as much food as possible. Fast forward to today. Food is not scarce. Food is everywhere. And most of the food around us has been engineered by scientists to be as addictive as possible. Maximum sugar, maximum flour, salt, fat, in combinations that don't exist in the natural world. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a donut or a cupcake and a survival opportunity. It lights up that same reward system, those same reward circuits, and it tells you to eat more, eat again, don't stop. And then we tell ourselves, like, I should just eat intuitively. I'll listen to my body. And my friend, your body, it has been hijacked. Your hunger signals are not reliable right now. So that's why you find yourself sometimes eating when you don't want to be. Intuitive eating assumes that your hunger cues are accurate, but hunger cues are so complex. There are so many reasons that we feel hungry, and it's not always for physiological hunger. Eyeballing doesn't work either, right? I'm just going to eat a palm of my protein, except your palm size changes, or you see the portion grow and grow over time, depending on your mood or your stress level or how tired you are, whether your brain is in that reward mode. This isn't a character flaw of any of us. This is our human biology meeting our modern food environment it was never built for. So if willpower doesn't work for you and intuitive eating hasn't worked, or eyeballing, what does? And here is what I want to teach you today. Here's the shift. If you are struggling on your health journey, the key is to bypass willpower. You don't decide in the moment. You decide ahead of time. You write down what you're going to eat tomorrow, tonight. And tomorrow you eat exactly what you wrote down. And you weigh and measure it on a digital food scale. Why is that important? Because the food scale in your kitchen, it doesn't care what mood you're in. The scale doesn't get tired. The scale can't be manipulated by your brain's reward system. You put chicken on it, it says 4 ounces, and that is one protein portion. Done. The food chatter has nothing to chew on anymore. And here's the part that really surprised me the most. When I started this lifestyle, I expected weighing my food to feel like a prison, but it felt like freedom because for the first time in my adult life, I didn't have to think about food all day. I knew exactly what was on my plate. I knew it was enough for me. I knew it was balanced. I knew it was the right amount for my goal. And my brain finally got quiet. And that is the experience that my clients have too, that so many people who are living this real food lifestyle experience. So here's something I want you to hear. When you weigh your food on a digital food scale and you trust your plan, you don't have to weigh your body every day. You can put the bathroom scale away if you want to, because the work is being done at the food scale. If you are eating the portions on your plan, your body is going to respond and you can just trust that. That piece with food is on the other side of your food scale. And yes, if you have a lot of resistance to weighing your food on a food scale in this program, it's okay. You need to own your plan. There are people that don't weigh their food and they use a one plate rule and they estimate the portion sizes the best that they can, or they measure their food with measuring cups or whatever. And that's fine. Whatever gives you the most peace. But I just really encourage you to try measuring your food on a digital food scale because when you do that, it really takes all of the negotiating away. And that really will quiet down your brain. Inside of our NutriHabit program, my clients follow what we call the NutriHabit Flex Step Meal Plan System. And I want to walk you through why it's called that because the name is doing the real work. We don't believe in a one size fits all plan. Your body is unique. Your age, your hormones, your history, your preferences, it all matters. And the right plan for you is the one that fits your body and that you can actually stick to will always be the perfect plan on paper. So here's what the flex is part is about. We help you to customize. When you start your NutriHabit journey, you're taken through a series of questions that helps you to choose a healthy calorie target for your goal and that is based off of your body's needs. And we have plans from 1,400 calories all the way up to 3,000 calories in 100-calorie increments. So whether you are trying to lose weight and you're postmenopausal, or you're a bodybuilder and you're wanting to build muscle, every plan is already balanced with macronutrients. They are all dialed in, so you don't have to count calories or macros. You don't have to do the macro math, right? We did all that work behind the scenes for you. Our meal plans include real food from every food group. So, protein, starches, fruits, vegetables, and fats. And having that balance is really what's going to help you to feel your best and to help your body's function to optimize. You pick how many meals a day you want, two, three, or four, whatever fits your life. You pick your path to peace. Some people do best with complete abstinence from processed foods, like that include sugar and flour, because for them, none is easier than some. Like that idea that 100% is a breeze, 98% is a beast. But other women do best with a moderation plan, an 80-20 rule, 80% of the time having the structure of their meal plan, and then 20% of the time having flexibility or 90-10 rule. Right. And for them, moderation means a few bites, not a binge, a treat, not a habit, and a plan, not an emotional reaction. So neither path is better. They're just different paths to peace. And the right one is the one that quiets your food chatter. But here's the step part. And this is what is so important and unique about our program. Our meal plans are built like a ladder. When you're losing weight, you're on one of the lower rungs, right? We help you to calculate this, but most adults need around 2,000 calories for to maintain their weight. So we encourage you to do a 10 to 30% caloric reduction if you are wanting to lose weight, but with maintenance breaks, which I recommend every 6 to 12 weeks if you have weight to lose. And during these maintenance breaks, you don't just jump straight up to maintenance, you go up the ladder one step at a time, 100 calories at a time. And we help walk you through that process every step of the way. Maintenance breaks are like reverse dieting, just slowly adding food, letting your body adjust after each level. And you live at your maintenance calories for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you come back down. There's a lot of reasons these maintenance breaks are so important in your weight loss journey, which we won't really get into today, but I have done other episodes on that. But yeah, once you get to your goal body, you live in maintenance, but you're not frozen into one rung. Our bodies are breathing and living creatures and need change sometimes. Learning how to add and remove food in maintenance is such an important skill. And that's what our program helps you to do, knowing what to add, when to add it, and just helping make the process a lot easier with your meal plan strategy and system. If you're active one season, or you're going through perimenopause, or you're getting older, or your consistency is different, you might want to step up or down the ladder as your body needs. And that's why we call it a flex step system. You flex the plan to your body. You step up and down the ladder as life changes and as your needs change. This is a lifestyle, not a diet, and you're not doing this for just 6 weeks and then going back to how you ate before, right? You're building a new identity, you're building a new way of eating that will help you to achieve your health goals, help you to lose weight for the last time, and find peace with food. And I want to speak directly for a second to a specific group of women who are listening. If you have been in a food exchange program for food addiction recovery and you've tried a real food lifestyle, and the structure really helped you, but the plan just felt too restrictive on calories or too rigid for real life. And it didn't teach you how to do maintenance, or you struggled with maintenance. I want you to know that this system was built exactly for you. I have so much respect for different programs, but I have helped a lot of women who have struggled on different food addiction recovery programs to find freedom, and it's all about customization. In my view, many programs are much too restrictive on calories for most people. And that can lead to the binge and restrict cycle that is so detrimental to our physical health and mentally. And the transition out of active weight loss is where so many people regain their weight. They don't know how they losing weight is pretty straightforward, but then keeping it off is where they really struggle. And that's what we do here to take this foundation, real food, structure, accountability to help you to customize your plan so that it's something that you can stick to. Enough calories to actually support your body for healthy weight loss. So you're losing fat, but you're not losing your muscle. And that's so important. And a plan that flexes with your life, a clear guidance on exactly how to add, when, and how to maintain this for the long term. So maybe that sounds pretty good to you, but you're wondering what this actually looks like on your plate. Our food list is all real food, proteins like eggs, chicken, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, lean beef, black beans, lentils. If you're sensitive to certain foods, you just remove those foods, cross them out on the food list. Any food on the food list is compliant as long as it's real food, right? Not made in a factory. Carbohydrates like potatoes, sweet potatoes, oats, rice are all on the food list. Fruits like berries, apples, bananas, every vegetable you can think of, and healthy fats like avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds. So the idea is real food, food the way God made it. At breakfast might be something like 3 scrambled eggs with spinach and a piece of fruit and 4 ounces of potatoes or something and an avocado. Lunch could be grilled chicken on a big salad with rice or a roasted sweet potato. Dinner could be ground beef and lettuce wraps with roasted vegetables or salmon and rice and asparagus. Most people do 3 meals a day. I recommend 4 meals a day for people who have struggled with binge eating in the past or really get hungry in between meals. But some people do the 2 meals a day, but it's nothing extreme, nothing weird. Just real food in the right portions for your body that you have planned out the night before. So, how do you actually track this day to day? You have a lot of options. Like some of my clients do it old school. They print off their meal plan and they print the food list with all the quantities to have in their kitchen as a reference, put it on the fridge, and then they just have a notebook and write breakfast, lunch, dinner. You look in the fridge the night before and you take 5 minutes to decide what you're going to eat tomorrow. Done. It works beautifully. Other clients want something on their phone, but the problem is that up until now, there isn't really a great app to track a food exchange meal plan system like we use. And the apps that most people know, like MyFitnessPal or Lose It, they're built for calorie counting, which for a lot of people just keeps that obsession with food alive. With those, you have to search and enter every food every time, and it takes forever. It's a whole it's another part-time job. So my brother Seth and I have been building something different. It's an app, a NutriHabit app, where your meal plan is already loaded in, your food list is already in there, and you just tap the protein, starches, fruits, vegetables, fats that you want, and it does all the math for you. If your breakfast calls for 1.5 proteins, for example, you might want half of that eggs, half cottage cheese, or you could do 3/4 of this one and 3/4 of that one to make 1.5, right? And you don't have to do the math, it just calculates it for you. So we're hoping to launch it in a few months. We have had it out there before, but we have so many new, amazing updates to it. I can't wait to show you those as they come out. So stay tuned and watch for those that are coming. It's AI enabled now, and you can ask it to help you plan your meals for the week or the day, and it puts it in there for you automatically. It's amazing. We are having beta testers test it right now. We can't wait for you to get your hands on it as well. So just be patient. We're doing our best to do this as fast as we can, but it is coming. So I want you to be aware of that. But for now, just keep using your pen and your paper and look at the food list, look at your meal plan. So, for example, if you have 1.5 proteins for breakfast, you would just look at your food list, look at all the different protein options. We break them up into the different categories like plant-based proteins or dairy or meat, and we categorize them as good, better, best, right? Like they're all compliant. Anything bacon, eating bacon every single day might not really serve your health goals. So that might be something you want to eat more sparingly. And so we do have highlighted those best and better options, but everything is compliant. So if you're wanting to figure out, okay, Erin, like what does the actual math look like when I'm doing this myself? And weighing my food, I've got you. So I recorded a little kitchen demo where I walk you through exactly how to calculate your portions using the food list while I'm making a recipe. So be sure to go watch that. And once you see it, it will click, right? There is that little bit of a learning curve when you're starting something new, but before you know it, this becomes so easy and effortless. Pretty much, if you look at your food list, it will tell you the different weights for each protein. So, for example, meat is usually around 4 ounces, beans are 6 ounces, nuts are 2 ounces for one serving, right? So they all have different weights to get you to that appropriate amount of calories, but we don't have to count calories or macros. You just look at your meal plan, and it's a food exchange meal plan system. So you look at your meal plan, you look at your food list. And if you have 1.5 proteins for breakfast, then you just take one protein over there and you times it by 1.5. So if you had 1.5 proteins for lunch, for example, and you wanted to eat chicken, one portion of chicken is 4 ounces. So 1.5 portions of chicken would be 6 ounces. And you would write that down, or you can split it. One portion of chicken is 4 ounces, and then you could do half of the other portion of protein as beans. And if beans are 6 ounces for one protein portion, then half of that would be 3 ounces. So you could have 4 ounces of chicken, 3 ounces of beans, and that would equal your 1.5 portions of protein. And I know it sounds a little bit hard to wrap your head around right now, but it is so much easier than counting calories, tracking macros. It is so much easier. We have built every meal inside of our meal plans to achieve that balance of macronutrients, to keep your blood sugar stable, to give you the best energy, to have the balance of all the food groups so that you can lose weight in a healthy way, so you're not hungry. Most people think it's just so much food, and how can I lose weight while I'm eating so much food? And it's because you're not eating processed food. You have nutrient dense foods that are low in calorie density. And when you have that balance of real food, it's a lot of food and you can lose weight. So it helps you to not feel so hungry during weight loss. So here's what I want you to take away from today. If you've been struggling to lose weight and to keep it off, you've probably been trying to manage a biology that has evolved for scarcity in a food environment that's designed for excess with willpower that was never built for the job. So, of course, it hasn't worked. Of course, you're tired. Of course, you've blamed yourself. We've all been there. We all are so empathetic. But there is an easier way to find peace with food, to achieve your goal body, to lose weight for the last time. And the way is not more effort. It's not a diet. It's a plan, a real food meal plan, a plan that takes the thinking out of mealtime, that trusts your food scale to handle the portions so that your brain can finally get quiet enough for you to get back to your real life, the things that are the most important to you. Remember, consistency beats intensity, progress over perfection. The right plan is the one you can stick to, and we're going to help you with that process. Our bodies are breathing and living creatures, and our plan needs to breathe and grow and flex with us. And weighing your food isn't about control, it's about freedom, so that you don't have to be constantly negotiating with yourself, and weighing your food will expedite your results. Okay, my friend, thanks for coming today. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening today. If you enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love my coaching program. If you're struggling and want to lose weight for the last time, I can help you. Just imagine living in your goal body and having peace with food. Your success is guaranteed. To learn more about how to get support, guidance, and accountability so you can find peace with food, achieve your goal body this year, and have more energy, visit www.healthyrealfood.com. While you're there, click the link to my schedule for a free one-to-one coaching call so we can get you started on your success path. You have the power to create the life that you want. This is the year of you. I'm cheering you on. Now go win the day. You got this.